Hello, Vision family. Welcome to another installment of the Uplift. My name is Billie Frances, and it's my delight to be with you today. We're going to have a topic today called fulfillment, and I'm looking forward to sharing some ideas about fulfillment with you. Please, let's start with some prayer. Knowing that absolutely the fulfillment that we desire is already the fulfillment that we are. That we have been given life, and we've been given life so that we can in fact fulfill our purpose. And I know that that is already the unfoldment of each and every life. That we are doing that, we are living that, we are expressing that already. And so I give great thanks for this awareness that God is, that Spirit guides us, that the fulfillment that we desire is already ours. And so giving thanks for this time together, I release this word of truth and let it be. And so it is. Isn't it wonderful to pray and then breathe? And so that's what I'm going to do for us, with us today. And I'm going to share with you some words that I wrote actually many years back, but they're all about fulfillment. And so I'll be reading from an excerpt from a book called Wise Women Speak, where I was one of 20 authors to contribute to this book. So the first concept here is that the process of fulfillment requires our undivided attention. So the process of fulfillment requires our undivided attention. So this is the little excerpt I want to share with you. Choosing a life on purpose rather than living an unexamined life means that we trust the moment and are present in it. So that's the first concept, to trust what is already unfolding and to be present right there in that moment. To be present is to be mindful. Mindfulness is awareness. Mindfulness is recognizing our connectedness to all things. And recognizing that connectedness that is coming from wisdom. Wisdom that is a deep understanding of our life's purpose. Mindfulness means being attentive, non-judgmental, and accepting. Wow, should I say that part again? Mindfulness means being attentive, non-judgmental, and accepting. Easy, right? No. Simple, yes. Easy, no. Mindfulness is the choice to live consciously and to let go, here it comes, to let go of any desire to control, achieve, or resolve. So I know that we are all experiencing some challenging times, and maybe we think our fulfillment's on hold. And what we need to remember is that our pathway to this fulfillment is still the same. It's to be present, to be connected, to do what we can to avoid judgment and evaluation and comparison, and should I go on and on? All those things that we're so distracted by and so tempted by. So this is a time when we have, yes, even more time to be contemplative, to be aware, to be mindful, to be in the present moment. And once again, the fulfillment that we desire does in fact require our undivided attention. Second concept. The process of fulfillment is ordered. Just when we think it's all about chaos, just when we think there's too much change, too much chaos going on around us, what we know is that this process, that's unfoldment, that is spirit-driven, that is who we are, it actually is ordered. So here's the concept here, is that growth follows a natural progression. And it's not to say that it's a straight line from where we are to where we want to be. No one's experiencing that these days. It's easy to go from here to there with no stops and starts along the way. But the natural progression is that the land needs to be prepared before it is seeded. That makes sense. We have to till the soil and get ready and do the work that we have to do to get ready to plant that seed. And of course, we also know that means to plant the thoughts. So we know it's a natural progression that the land is prepared before it is seeded. And that a seed needs to be planted before the harvest. That's the natural progression. Not easy from point A to point B, but that we need to clear the land, plant the seed, and then we can harvest. And as nutrients are added and weeds are removed, that's where the work comes in. We have to continue to nurture the soil, nurture our thoughts, nurture our lives. And so we're doing that and weeding. Have you done some weeding lately? Clearing some thoughts perhaps, or even decluttering, or all the things we're doing right now while we have the time. We're discerning what do we need and what do we not need. And as we do those things, the seedling gets stronger. That's encouraging, is it not? That we can do the work, clear the soil, plant the seed, and know that as it's there in the soil, in the preparation, that it's getting stronger, and that's a good thing. So as we apply this seedling analogy to our living, including, of course, our desires and any desire to expand and grow, we discover the ease in awareness and an abundant harvest by grace. And I think that's what we're going for, is the ease and, of course, the fulfillment, that wonderful harvest. And it comes to us magically, does it not? You've had that experience when you've maybe worked and toiled and hoed and efforted, and then all of a sudden the thing you were looking for appears. That's called grace. That's just when Spirit has been wanting to give to us, and we make welcome. We make room. We've done the work, and then we receive the gift of life itself, of that beautiful harvest. Another concept is that the process of fulfillment is its own reward. The joy of living in awareness, the joy of living the process. That there is nothing missing and nothing to do. Let me read that full sentence for you. The joy of living the process is the awareness that there is nothing missing and nothing to do. Now, I don't know about you, but I've been thinking there's lots to do. That I have to get this accomplished, that I have to make way for that, and that I have to hurry up and finish projects. And I get really caught up in that. And I find out that sometimes there's an awareness of preparation, there's awareness of doing, but that for the most part, there's nothing missing is a better place for me to come from. Not from the angst of the condition that I'm not happy about, but from the trust of knowing that the result and the fulfillment that I'm looking for is at hand. It's inevitable. It's that beautiful seedling that's sprouting, whether I do anything about that or not. So God is always working in our lives. God is always making way and preparing and seeking its own fulfillment as us and through us and by us. Here's a little metaphor we can maybe appreciate. We need not wait for the rose to be in full bloom to appreciate it. How often do we do that? We wait until the thing's done. We wait until our result is at hand, and then we can say, gosh, that was great. The meal is made, or the garden is now blooming. But that little bud is just as gorgeous as that full-blown bloom called a rose. So we can begin to appreciate it. And it's magnificent. That's what we need to remember, that in dormant potential, it is still magnificent. Now, how on earth does that apply to you and I? I'm not done. I'm not done. I have work to do. I have projects to complete. I have some goals that are not fulfilled, but I'm still magnificent in the potential of my very own life. And there are times when I don't always appreciate that I get impatient or anxious or wanting it to come to fruition, and it just isn't there yet. So the key is to appreciate the process of fulfillment and to appreciate that my dormant potential is fabulous. It doesn't have a name, it maybe doesn't even have a form, but the essence of it is God within, and it's magnificent. So I have one more concept to share with you. And this is the good news, maybe the bad news too, I don't know. Depends if we want to do the work. The process of fulfillment can be learned and practiced. We may be more accustomed to answering urgent demands for our immediate attention than waiting, watching, and being in the present moment. Now, I think I can relate to that. I want it now. I want it to happen. I'm ready for this all to be gone. Anybody else ready for this so-called new normal to be not the new normal at all? But we're sometimes accustomed to just jumping to the whatever's urgent, whatever's calling our attention. But the contrast is to wait and watch and be in the present moment. See, the thing that's so amazing about that is what brings about the action. But it doesn't seem like it. It seems like doing and churning and hurrying and being active brings about the result. But what about this concept of waiting and watching and being in the present moment? We can, in fact, learn to make thoughtful rather than snap decisions and heart-connected responses rather than off-the-cuff remarks. We can learn to be vulnerable. Boy, that was hard to say. We can learn to be vulnerable. There I was, very vulnerable, rather than guarded, and to be connected rather than cut off. We can rediscover the nobility of patience and renew our trust in the evolution of our lives. So consider these things. Join me perhaps this week in seeing what it's like to experience the nobility of patience as we're expecting and fulfilling our lives, expecting the fulfillment and in fact doing the work we need to do, but also enjoying the fulfillment that is right now. Please join me. I'm going to lead us through a closing prayer as we end our uplift for today. Giving thanks once again for this opportunity to be together, to remember the truth, to remember ourselves as beautiful, capable, magnificent, expressed, and fulfilled beings. That is the truth. That is who we are. That is why we're here. We are here to fulfill our purpose, our destiny, our connectedness, and to remember ourselves as the very love of God in expression. So thank you, God, for this truth and for this experience, this joy of discovery. I'm so grateful. I release this word. I know it is in fact fulfilled, and so it is. We're so delighted to bring Uplift to the Vision community and family. We bring it every day, Monday through Saturday, and then on Sundays we can join Vision with Reverend Patty Paris, and we have our 10 o'clock service that comes to you from her heart and from Vision to our homes. Thank you so much. I look forward to being with you, and I know that we are fulfilled.